We're on.
You win some, you lose more.
No footy tonight, but a cyclone won't stop the AFL Today Show, brought to you by Tab. We are still here with a brand new panel. Here we go, lads. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. Over there, he's always fired up after some food, some drinks. He's ready to go. Liam Mullaly, how you going?
I'm feeling exquisite, Stats Guy. I'm here with my boys.
Yes.
And we're just chilling.
Yeah, we're chilling. It's good. It is true.
A few NRBs.
Yeah, a few NRBs as well. We've also got Marcus Bazzano. He's fired up. Essendon
Come on
fan.
again. I got the second time, which is more than already from last season, so I'll take that as a win.
There you go. You're going to be every Thursday night, mate. They also got me this top, actually. Sheezels Cheezels, which is my Supercoach team.
Take it off!
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Thursday night's preview show is back. Brought to you by Tab's AFL Miss by One. If your disposals leg misses by one, Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? All right, we've got an awesome show today. Leo and I interviewed the great Lachie Fogarty the other day. Carlton's glue.
The wily, the maestro, Lachie Fogarty.
Yes, he was really good. So
he was good, yes.
He's got lovely hair, nice little mullet going on.
Relax, mate.
Yeah. Relax. Yeah,
It might be a restraining order put on you, mate.
Nah, we'll be good. He'll be back. We go through some AFL news. Both of the opening round matchups. I say both because sadly there's only two. Bloody Cyclone Alfred has ruined that. We're going to go through that with tips, odds, stats, debates, best bets, big calls for the weekend from each of us actually, which is going to be good fun. And then finish off with what to keep an eye on for the weekend ahead. So there's only two games, but we still got to cover a lot. So it'll be good fun.
Mate, we'll ramble.
Yeah, we want to get it out for you guys. It's only been about 2 minutes since the teams got announced, so
Yes. We're ready to go.
appreciate us.
Yeah, there we go.
Leave some love in the comments.
You got there
like
in the
it.
end, mate.
Yes, definitely leave some love in the comments. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at AFL Today Show. Get around it. We want to keep growing the subscribers. We're heading towards 3.5,
what do we-
4K.
We'll go 4K before Anzac Day.
Oh, that
How about
rhymes
that? That's a
too.
little goal.
How about we get a K around?
I like that.
That's a lot.
That's a big ask, but I like it.
Well, we're going to end with
Ambitious.
24K.
Over 100 a day.
Well, yeah, considering what we have already, so be a bit more.
I don't mind that. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Even the bell as well. It goes a long way.
Yeah,
Can
little ding.
alert you when the show's on. So we got a show Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday night, wrapping up the round. Follow today, AFL Today across all the socials, AFL Today AU on most of them, and then Facebook is Aussie Rules Today.
Oh, he knows it.
Yeah, I know it. All your socials that you put up, I'm following them. Leo's putting his Supercoach teams up there, which is really good fun. And then of course, across all the podcast platforms, so you can listen to us on there. All right. As we always start these shows, news ticker, lads. News ticker. First one. Matt Rowell is causing a bit of a stir. He's causing interest in other clubs. 5 Victorian clubs are after Matt Rowell, apparently. And the Dogs are at the top of that
Are
list.
they the only one confirmed, the Dogs?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that?
Should we guess for the other 4?
I think North.
St Kilda.
St Kilda are going
100%.
after
Yes.
everyone.
Yeah.
Geelong, probably. They just love like a midfielder. Why not?
It's 20 mil right there for Matt Rao.
That's true.
In
For a St
land.
Kilda.
Dogs, I think, is a bit weird, but talking to Dogs fans, including my dad, he was like, Libba goes out, that sort of
Libba
gritty
is like
guy.
32, isn't
Yeah,
he?
Libba's pretty old. You get Matt Rowell coming in, that's like the gritty, grinding sort of midfielder that they need. So I don't mind the Dogs going
Yeah,
after
I'm
him.
liking that one.
He will also keep the practice ovals at Whitten Oval freshly mown.
Exactly,
So-
because he's eating all the
They
grass.
will
good.
save a
All you do-
lot. They
all
will
you do-
save a lot with the cancel. I know that much.
All you gotta do is just hold his legs, wheelbarrow him, and you go
Matt Rowell.
That's what they do.
Oh
They got
my
Noah
God.
Anderson wheelbarrow.
Can we do a skit with Matt Rowell where we wheelbarrow?
I don't
him?
think he'll let
I
us.
don't think he will like that.
He's a bit too vanilla for us, probably. But
Wow.
Oh, he's not going to see this.
So he wouldn't go to Geelong. You're saying he's not a Geelong boy, like beach boy.
No, I don't think
sort
so.
of vibes.
I don't think so. But he's a good
Yeah.
man. He
Not
seems
many
like a nice
rangers.
guy.
Not many
You said
rangers
he's
are
vanilla.
beach boys.
He's vanilla, but he seems like a nice guy.
That's what they say about you.
That's true. That's true.
Gerald's having a good laugh.
Yeah, the producer. There we go. Next one in the news ticker. Your old mate, your coach, Leo.
Yes.
Sam Mitchell is fired up. There was a doco last night that you watched. He said in the doco, he doesn't want his side to look tired out in the field. So he said, of course you're going to be tired in an AFL game. But he says if your players look tired, you're going to lose the game.
Yep.
I probably agree with that.
Well, he
one.
said he'd rather play with 16. Get off the ground.
Yeah,
I think that was just more to like send the message. I don't think he actually would.
Yeah,
Also,
I
he
know.
said this with a lot more swear words than I said.
Yes.
But yes.
I look, I like it. I think every coach should be doing that though. Like they don't want their players looking tired. That just because if you're tired, the opposition will be tired as well.
And they'll lift as well.
And
yeah.
if you're showing you're tired and the opposition isn't, it's just like a little aura thing in the air. They'll start to get on top of you.
Yeah.
Well-
so he has a point, but I reckon every other club would be doing that as well.
I know it was a pracky, but I feel like he did that at halftime against the Dogs.
Drag people?
Yeah,
Because
he
the
did.
Hawks did look a little bit lethargic. in that first half of that game?
In the doco, there was a bit at halftime during that Dogs game. Yeah, it wasn't too happy. But yeah, they definitely lifted, and it was an interesting insight, that doco. But it wasn't anything groundbreaking. But as a Hawks fan, I'm going to eat it up.
It looked pretty good. I'll give it a watch, I reckon. Why not? There's probably a little bit about the wizard in there. Everyone loves him. So
there was actually surprisingly a lot on Tom Barrass, and they were very
Tom Barrass is a good personality.
They were very hard on him though.
I think he's a better signing than Josh Battle.
Interesting,
in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
We'll see how that goes. Battle is younger though. I think Battle has scope to be a little bit better, but we'll see.
Yep, nice.
It's just surprising that they were hard on Barrass though, because he's so experienced, and they're like,
was he
you got to learn the Hawthorn way?
Was it fitness or
no? It was just like you've got to learn our structure. You've got to be a bit more intimidating and physical, and he wasn't against it. He was taking it all on, but I just found it interesting that they'd go after someone so experienced like that.
There we go. Just like our Cricket Today show that we usually on. A bit of nuggets of knowledge.
I mean, I'm not really providing the knowledge there. I'm just relaying what I watched.
Well, you've done well. Okay. You've done well.
Thanks, mate.
Next one in the news ticker. Clary Oliver, just in an interview, admits he wasn't the best teammate or person at the club last year. Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. But the fact that he said that, and the fact that they're sort of moving on as a club with him, and he said he's going to be there in the long term, as a Melbourne fan, you're like, at least he's owning up to it. And at least, the whole club is like, he's all right now. Everyone's getting through it. What do you guys think about that?
I love that quote.
It was actually written in an article by Gilbert Gardner that's in this office as well. Yeah, because Clary was at I think he's a race ambassador at this weekend or something like that. And there was a few Clary article about Clary, so that was interesting. Yeah.
Well, we had 28 and a goal in the Pracky. I think he
looks 3 goals.
He
had 28 and 3 goals.
I was looking at the wrong line. I was looking at Gorney. Yeah, 28 and 3 goals.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Scored 134 Supercoach points for those interested.
Get him in your team.
Yeah, nice.
Last one in the news ticker. The AFL have rearranged the fixtures for opening round. Obviously, Cyclone Alfred, but they confirmed today that Brisbane versus Geelong will be in round 3 because both teams were supposed to have the bye then.
Convenient.
And then your Bombers, you want to talk about them?
Mate,
it's a bit all over the shop.
Farce.
What's going on with Essendon versus Gold Coast?
Essendon versus Gold Coast, look, both teams don't have the same buys early in the season and late in the season, which is a bit of a problem, bit tricky. So instead of working it around, they're just going to be like, all right, let's just slap it in the bye week before finals start after round 24.
Well, both teams aren't going to be in finals anyway, so.
Yeah, probably not. But
Gold Coast could, yeah.
Even still, if they're not in finals, it's just a pointless dead rubber that we got to watch a week before finals.
Or imagine if you're both like 10th, 11th, or 12th, and you have to win that game to make the finals. Ooh, that'd be good.
Do you realise you are talking about Gold Coast and my Bombers?
Well, I don't rate Gold Coast as much as other people, but they have a chance of making finals.
You know what
Alex had him in the 8.
He had that a couple of years
ago.
And
Adelaide.
Yeah, Adelaide was a bit wild.
Yeah, I'm off Adelaide.
The thing is, though, it could be like 10th versus 12th, but like a win gets them like half a game out of the 8, and it's just like it's still a dead rubber, and you're like,
yeah. I would have rather just cancel the game completely and give both teams share the points.
No.
Let's do it.
Well, so
another this woke nonsense.
Yeah, so Mac Andrew can't kick another goal after the siren.
Hey, you had that suggestion on Wednesday's show, the draw. You said
I did.
What if they split?
No, I'm all for that because stuff it. It's going to be a dead rubber.
How hard is it to rework it? Just surely they can swap buys around and.
Oh no, they got 24 weeks to rearrange that fixture.
Yeah,
you're telling me you can't find one space in there, especially when Essendon play midweek. Well, assuming Anzac Day will be midweekish. Oh, I'm sure around there you could probably tinker.
They should bring back like the midweek games, like in COVID.
Nah, that was weird.
Oh mate, don't get me back to COVID.
Nostalgia.
He wants to bring back COVID. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what I said.
Anyway, on that note...
Make that the quote in the thumbnail.
What, that you're going to bring back COVID? Leo wants to bring back COVID. On that note, let's have a little bit of a break. We're going to get into the interview that Leo and I did with Lachie Fogarty. He talks all things Supercoach, Vossi, a few other things. So we're going to get into that right now. AFL Today here with another special segment. We're here with one of the most consistent Carlton players. He does a bit of everything. Lachie Fogarty, thanks for jumping on AFL Today Show, mate. How are you?
Yeah, going well, guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. We'll start off. We love a bit of Michael Voss on this show. I'm very curious about Vossi. Obviously, he had a bit of a superhero arc last season, even at that cafe, saving some people and things like that. What's he like? And do you think the great man could still get a game in this Carlton team? He's so buff. He's still ready to go.
He certainly is in good nick at the moment. We see him in the gym a few times, and while boys are struggling to lift 100, he's doing it as his warm-up. So... he's a good man, Vossi. He's big on relationships and building those with players, and he's just a great motivator as well. We talk about often in our captain's runs, in our meetings. We feel like playing that game then and there just because he's so motivating. So, yeah, he's been really good for our group.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what you want in a skipper, don't you? And the coach, obviously, as well.
Yeah, love that. Is there anyone at the club, Lachie, that gives the best sort of chirp or trash talk on field?
Ooh.
Or yourself even. Do you have any?
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like guys are so tired during games at the moment.
Yeah, true.
There's not too much. Like, I honestly, probably since my first year, I reckon I was playing against Port Adelaide. This was about 7 years ago. I don't reckon I've copped too much since then. So, it has been a while. If I had to think of someone, it's probably someone like a Charlie Kerner or Matty Cottrell who wouldn't mind saying a few things.
Yeah, Matty, especially Matty. He loves a strut after he kicks a goal, I think.
Seems a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah, I love that.
Awesome. He's all about that for sure.
Very nice.
Love it.
Leo?
Now, you obviously played at Spotswood as a junior. I know Jordan Boyd played there as well. Did you play much footy with him, and what's it like playing alongside him on the big stage?
Yeah, so I played heaps of footy with Boydie. We started in the under-9s together. He's a year older, but for a period there, I was playing above my age group. So, it's honestly, it's really cool. I think it was back in 2021, I went back to Spotty and he was playing at the seniors at the time, and I actually presented his Spotswood jumper to him. And then, a few months later, he was a mid-season draftee. So, I got a really good relationship with Boydie. We still train together in the off-season, and it's pretty cool to think that two kids from Spotswood are just playing in the AFL together.
Yeah, that's sick. Do you ever go back and watch a bit of Spotswood when you can, or?
I haven't for a little while. I'm tied up with St Kevin's. I went to St Kevin's for my school, so I still got mates playing for the St Kevin's old boys. So when I do get an opportunity, I'll try and get there.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, would you say Jordan Boyd you're probably closest with in the Carlton team, or your locker buddy next year would be Cripper, I'd say, with numbers and things like that? Or is there anyone else you're sort of close with at the club?
Yeah, close with Boydie. George Hewitt's another one who I'm pretty good mates with. We had similar back problems a couple of years ago and did our rehab together. And he's someone I'm very close with. Good sounding board for me. But even just not talking about footy, just talking about other things. Yeah, he's always good to chat to.
Yeah, love that. I'm just going to have a little... people call me the stats guy on this show, so I'm going to bring a stat for once. Since the start of 2023, Carlton are 20-7 with you and 6-1-12 without you. Did you know you're the mould to this Carlton team? And do you let the other boys know about it? Because I feel like if you play, you're just going to get a dub.
I'm not too sure about that. A few people have mentioned the stat to me over the last 18 months. And yeah, it's probably nice to hear, but I don't read into it too much. It is a nice stat when you think about it.
Yeah, I reckon just bring it up. If anyone ever gives you a clip or something like that, just say, we win when I'm in the team. 6-1-12 without you. That's pretty cool.
Good point.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, love it.
Next one, we always love talking about the younger guys. Obviously, you got Jagger Smith. I'm really excited to see him play next. Unfortunately, he's injured, but really excited to see him come through the ranks. A lot of other younger guys. Who do you reckon is your breakout or guy that's going to go to another level in 2025? Obviously, you've had a big preseason and things like that.
Yeah, there's probably a couple. A guy who's in his third season, Lachie Cowan. Yep. I've been really impressed by him, and obviously we've had Nick Newman go down, so we have needed someone to step up. And yeah, I've had to play on him a fair bit in this pre-season. I actually said to him a couple of weeks ago when we were training, I'm actually looking forward to not playing on him anymore. So
that's awesome.
He's a real physical player. He can be a lockdown defender if he has to, or I feel like once he gets a bit more confidence and comfortable, he's a player who can break some lines, which he was able to do back in the under-18 system. So, yeah, I feel like he's in for a big year.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, the crowd I've heard go moo when Cowan gets the ball. Is there any other strong nicknames around the club that we might not have heard of, or one that you have yourself even that the boys call you?
I get called Dogger a bit.
Dogger,
Dog, just things like that. The amount of nicknames thrown around at a footy club.
Absolutely.
Cooper Lord gets called Gospel.
I love it.
Yeah, nice.
So, there's a few out there which are pretty funny.
Yeah, nice and creative. I don't mind that. What do you got?
Switching to outside of footy, what sort of keeps you busy in your downtime?
Doing a bit of study at the moment. Doing a commerce degree and slowly ticking that off. It's all online, which is handy, so I can just listen to the recordings when I want to. I'm about halfway through the course, which, it's 12 of the 24 units, but slowly getting there. Just got a dog as well, a little Brutal, so
awesome.
Keeping me pretty busy.
What's the name?
Taking her for a walk. So her name's Peach. So, she's about 5 months old now, but Groodles are pretty full on, which I've come to learn.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like looking after a little kid probably at times. Yeah. Very nice. Actually, this is one that we got provided from your media manager, but heard you were once not too bad at Supercoach. 4th best for a month back in 2015. I've heard you've been telling all the boys, you'd be like, I used to be a Supercoach wizard. Are you still all over the Supercoach, or is anyone else in the Blues that are always checking their Supercoach scores or individual scores even?
Yeah, so that was back in 2015. I was right into it with my schoolmates, and for a month, I was in the top 4, but I did go downhill after that. I couldn't even tell you where I finished overall in the ranking. I've dropped it. Last year was the first year I hadn't done it for a while, but I have got a few mates snagging me at the moment to get back into it. So we've only got a couple of days, so I might be putting my team together pretty soon.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, we love a bit of Supercoach here. Do you check your Supercoach score? Is there anyone at the club like that would actually look at it, or is it a bit of one that maybe they do?
I reckon
on the
guys
side?
will be all over. I don't mind looking at it occasionally because it talks about the effectiveness and
True,
how many effective disposals you've had. I'll occasionally look at it. It's in the Herald Sun, obviously.
Yep.
But guys I reckon there'd be guys who are all over it as well. I think Cripper, I don't know, I think he's pretty big on it. Weeders, maybe.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Does Cripper captain himself? Do you reckon?
You've got it.
I wouldn't blame him if it's like the year he's just had. So, I would if I was him.
Yeah, love that.
Nice.
We just love a bit of Supercoach. Why not? Actually, I think that's it. Is that all the questions?
I think
there?
that's all.
I think that's it. The countdown is on for Carlton's first bounce for 2025. Become a member today from as little as $12 per month. Visit membership.carltonfc.com.au. I think that's it. Thank you very much, Lachie, for jumping on.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Let's get right back into the usual show. What an interview that was, lads, with Lachie Fogarty. I'm glad he could jump on. The luscious locks and everything about him. I just liked it.
Yeah, he was very good, wasn't he? The spotty boy.
Dogger, they call him.
From my area.
Yes, yeah. He talked up Lachie Cowan. So we'll have to look at him during this. No, they say moo, like they do oof facade.
Get it? Because it's cow.
Yeah, no. Got that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, mate.
Just in
Thanks.
case.
Just in case. All right, lads. Game preview time. Here we go. Opening round. Oh, there's only 2 games. But that's all right. We'll get into these 2 games with lots of detail. Sydney versus Hawthorn is the first one. Your beloved Hawks, Leo. You a bit nervous just first off?
Mate, I've actually been nervous for a couple of weeks now.
For a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
geez.
literally. This is a nerve-wracking game.
It is a big game, obviously.
Imagine if this one was cancelled and the Essendon Gold Coast one was still going, and it would have been Gold Coast Essendon the start of the season. How bad would have that been?
That would have been horrible.
What do you mean? That would have been great.
Oh, no way. Obviously, Sydney versus Hawthorn, Friday night, 7:40 at the SCG. Let's get into the teams, lads.
Yes.
Let's talk it through. You two start us off. You start us off, Leo.
I could maybe cover Hawthorn. One of you could cover Sydney.
Sure, you cover Hawthorn.
I don't mind how we do this. It's up for debate.
You cover
do it.
Hawthorn because
Go
Hawthorn
Hawthorn.
have a lot of big ins.
Well, they've got Barras and Battle making their club debut.
Yes.
They're listed in the back line. Now, look, we don't read into how the team's structured on the AFL app, but James Sicily's on a wing.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, and Harry Morrison is centre half forward. So we all know Harry Morrison as the big bustling centre half forward.
You can't read into
No,
that.
I'm just joking.
No, but
around.
you can't. You also can't put James Sicily on a wing.
It's just a joke, mate. Like, people just chuck it on the team. Like,
Blake Hardwick, fullback, even though he's going to play forward this year. Isn't
he'll play. I reckon he'll
Is
play
this
forward.
mind games from the Hawks, Leo? Is that what you're saying?
But this has happened for a decade now. Stuff like this with every team. Like it's nothing new. But yeah, the Hawthorn team looks good. Gunston is an emergency, so he misses out. Bruce is not even in the best 26. He's didn't get on the plane.
Bit stiff. I reckon he was a good sub, but you said he played Box Hill last week.
Yeah, I just reckon, I don't know, looking at our extended bench, someone like a McGuinness could be a good sub. He's very versatile. Honestly, Loki Frosty as a sub is not bad. He's got
speedy.
some speed.
He's playing the wing.
Well, I don't know about that one. But it's just interesting to see how the Hawks structure their back line. I was reading a little bit that Frost, if Papley was playing, which we'll get into, was going to go to Papley and use his speed on him there and keep the tools as is, and then Hardwick can go forward, or this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But now no Papley. So I'd be interested to see how that sort of back 6 operates against the Sydney forward line.
Yeah,
Good call, mate.
Is it slightly small, if anything, that defence?
Our defence?
Yeah.
No.
Why is Jarman
no.
Impey starting at centre half back?
This is,
No, as in
I'm
like.
telling you, don't read
No,
into it, mate.
But if you look at the back line as a whole,
Yeah,
Hardwick's undersized. I know he plays like as a big.
He'll play as a forward.
Hardwick's undersized. Weddle's not.
Weddle's
a one-
over 190.
Yeah, but he's not one-on-one play. I don't know. You got Battle and Barras.
Battle and Barras are one-on-one.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the Sydney forward line
He's pretty small.
is pretty small. Like Tom McCartney.
I think if anything, we're oversized the back line.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
But I think our forward line is definitely undersized for sure. Like you look at that.
Yeah.
I know like that's not going to be the starting 6 forwards, but Chol's the only one there over. Oh, Nash is tall, but he won't play forward. Chol's the only one there over like 195.
This lineup is so weird. I know you're saying it doesn't matter, but this is like, because usually you say it doesn't matter to the lineup because there's like 1 or 2 weird spots. There's like 6 or 7 blokes here in the wrong position.
Okay, do you want me to tell you where these guys will play? I reckon.
Oh, we don't have to go through all of it, but
It'll take 10 seconds. Hardwick will be forward.
Okay.
We'll put Morrison on the wing, Sicily back, Day on ball, swap with Moore. That's literally it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
So
go.
don't read into it, mate. It's all just a bit of
Don't
fun.
mind that. All right, on the Sydney side, you can
Sydney
read them out.
side, they're obviously a little bit undermanned. They've got some injuries.
Yep.
We're speaking to Alex previously. He says 5 or 6 of the best 23 are probably out in this game.
Who's that? Errol, Grundy. Is Grundy in actually?
Grundy's playing.
Oh,
Grundy's
Grundy's
playing.
in. That's good.
Yes.
That's something that's good for my Supercoach draft team as well.
Yes.
But still, it's still a fairly decent team that you'd expect to at least get over. I wouldn't say get over the line, but at least put up a very decent fight if they are to lose against this Hawthorn
They
team.
match up well. Yeah.
They
The
do.
home ground advantage too.
But you still got players like Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner, Cheeks from the show, James Rowbottom.
James Rowbottom.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if he goes to like Newcombe or something and just plays a little negating role or something.
Yep.
And Ollie Florin, of course, who
Was just on
we
the show
also
as well.
was just on the show we interviewed yesterday. So check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, they got the depth still. They've got, Leo was talking about before the show, all the young guys are actually very, Angus Sheldrick getting a game round 1. Alex will be loving this. I think that's a good thing. He killed it in the preseason. Ben Payton or Patton?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to say Payton.
I think he's a bit older though because he came from St Kilda.
Oh, that's true.
But the other one there is Corey Warner. Now, there's
Yes.
a clip, we obviously interviewed Ollie Florent on yesterday's show. Clip going out tomorrow as well from that show that talked about the 2 breakout players for Sydney this year being Sheldrick and Corey Warner.
Yes.
So you get to see both of them tomorrow night, Swans fans. And to be
Supercoach
honest,
options.
I can't argue with Florent on that one. Like Sheldrick, we
He
know
looked really good, yeah.
he's a beefy boy. We call him Beef Sheldrick. Corey Warner, like if you've got blood relations to Chad Warner,
Yeah, the Chunley.
like that says enough. You know what I mean?
And we got debutant lads for Sydney in
Yes.
this game. Tom Hanley,
Yes.
19-year-old forward.
Is he wily, Leo? You always like to use that.
I
word.
don't know much about him. I'll be honest.
I think their aim is for forward pressure. He's like a mini Papley, I reckon. He's going to
like
be
the Papley replacement.
Papley replacement.
Actually,
exactly.
Papley's playing.
Oh,
He is.
There you go.
so all these rumors of injuries.
So take
half
back
of
what
them
I
are-
said about Frost.
Half of them are, because Frost still could play on Papley at times.
There we go.
True.
There you go.
That's
All right.
interesting.
There we go. That's the teams. Actually, before we finish off with the teams, Jake Lloyd's 250th game. Lloyd, as VT would say. What do you mean? Like, he's had a really good career. I know
Underrated. Underrated.
Yeah.
He always hits a target.
And
he sets him up.
He will be remembered for peak pig in
Pig in Supercoach.
in Supercoach and fantasy.
There you go.
He had a
Well,
great
actually,
run,
I'm going to ask you this, Leo. I don't even know, what does it mean by pig in Supercoach?
Like you just rack it up in the back line. Like
Okay.
Jack Zeeble a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was a pig,
because
yeah.
he just chipped it around and got the kick mark.
I thought it stood for something, but no, probably not.
pretty.
Well, Jack Zeebel's move to the forward.
That's all I
line
got.
was
Is pretty.
was one of the worst position changes in recent memory.
What? Going
Moving
back?
Jack Zeeble into the forward line.
No, but he started as a forward and he was dominated for us.
Wasn't he? Started as
And the mid, forward. He won us
That's
some
towards the end
finals.
of his career. Like, he was a beast down.
That could be a segment.
Beast
Like,
at halfback for a few years.
positional changes that ruin people's lives.
Supercoach got in the way of people's minds of beast at backline. He wasn't.
He wasn't
he
a
was
beast,
a crap defender.
but like he was.
He was a terrible defender.
Anyway, that's enough for the teams. Let's have a look at a tab with the odds here. We got Sydney versus Hawthorn. Sydney $1.85, so really, really close in the odds with Hawthorn at $1.95. One of my best bets that I'm looking, I'm going to have 2 best bets in this one. My first best bet is the under 169.5, so that's the total points at $1.90. Really good odds there. I think some of the other bookies have them like $1.85 around that mark, but this one is on tab at $1.90. The 8 of the Hawks' last 9 away matches have actually gone under the total points. I'm going under in this one as well. You bring in Barras, you bring in Battle, and you just got a much better defense for the Hawks. And then you know what, Sydney were the number 1 offense and number 1 defense. First round of the year, I don't think it's going to be massive scoring. Amadi, he takes a while to fire up. He's not going to kick his 10 goals. So I'm going the under as my first best bet. The player best bet that I'm looking at is Chad Warner, 2+ goals, $3.75. He's actually done it in these last 5 Friday night games. So under the lights, Chunley Warner, he just fires up. He's going to kick 2 goals. He can kick it from about 60 meters when he's bursting out of the pack. I think he's a perfect matchup against the Hawks. 2 goals, $3.75. Bit of extra value there with Tab. There we go. All right. Nice. What do you reckon, lads? Is Chunley Warner, can he kick 2 goals? What do you reckon on the under?
I think Chad Warner will kick 2 goals. I just think Hawthorn sometimes are susceptible to that game-breaking mid. And Chad Warner could be like 9 touches, 30% efficiency at halftime, and then he just comes out, kicks 2 goals in a minute, and you're like, I'm more going for that. Yeah, that live wire just in a quarter where he has quarters where he has like 10 touches and 2 goals. He could even just start the game on fire, and you're just like, oh, this is just, for me, it'd be awful. Like,
also, I feel like if the game is to go that way though, like both really fast, that suits Hawthorn a little bit more. I think it'll be one of Warner or Heaney to kick the 2 plus.
Yeah.
But no, I can't complain with that. That's pretty good.
Very nice. And then like I was talking about the total points and things like that. What do you guys reckon? Is it going to be a high scoring game?
I like the under as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think
first game of the year.
Yeah. Just the key defensive stocks are pretty good for both sides. Probably more Hawthorn than Sydney.
Hawthorn now, yeah.
Sydney is a system defend typically really well and at home as well. So yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
I'm a little bit worried about the Hawks with these stats, Leo. So we can talk about these. Sydney have won the last 5 season openers, so they love a season opener. The last meeting against the Hawks, they won by 76 points. But straight after this, the Hawks then won 7 of their next 8 matches, and it's like, oh, we got smashed by Sydney, and then they just catapulted.
Can I just say something? And I'm going to cop some slack for this.
Oh, here we go.
That's what we like to hear.
We weren't actually that bad in that Sydney game.
You lost by 76 points.
We weren't that bad.
In the previous 3 meetings between Sydney, you've lost by an average margin of 66.
Yeah, but that includes the other 2 times we might have been bad. But I'm telling you, we weren't that bad. I was at the game.
Can I just say one thing? You can't lose by 76 and say...
Hang on, I'm getting the stats up. I just have to because I remember watching it. And Sam Mitchell, after the game, even said, and he got crucified for this, that if you were watching the game without scores, you would say the Hawthorn team wasn't doing that badly.
Was it?
I know, but if you lose a game by 13 goals...
The expected score was like 4-goal margin in favour of Sydney. We still deserve to lose.
But don't bring in XG.
I will bring in XG.
I'll say that one thing. We're not having XG on this Thursday show.
We only had 3 less inside 50s. So that all I'm saying is
you just weren't efficient.
We weren't that bad.
Okay.
So you're back on with Pony then? It was just...
Yeah, well, you still have bad areas of the game, but like...
Can I say one thing that backs you up as a club? You don't even have... That is the old Hawthorn. Because since you lost that game... Yeah, you hope so.
I hope so.
We'll
find out.
It is. Since you lost that game, you went on to win 7 of your next 8. Then you won like 11 of your next 13 or something like that.
I think it was that, yeah.
And then you dominated and you made the finals and did pretty well there. So... I don't even think Hawks fans have to worry about that, but just an interesting stat that what Marcus said as well, average of 66 points in the last 3 meetings the Swans have won by. That was when 1 or 2...
They do play us well. They match up really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other one I wanted to put in there just for a little player stat was Massimo. D'Ambrosio, he had 25 plus disposals 4 of his last 5 games. Do you reckon he can back it up from last season? I think he can.
I think he can. Yeah. It might be a bit tougher on the SCG just with how Sydney play it. I know it's not that different to the MCG, Alex. All right, calm down.
No, he's the one that always says it's smaller.
Oh, whatever. I don't really care, to be honest. It's a ground. Like, just play footy on it.
Exactly right.
But it's just more how Sydney set up, I think, could stifle D'Ambrosio a bit. He'll play better at the G for sure.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I might ask you this one to finish off before we give our own tips for the winner. Who's going to be the standout players in this one, do you think, lads?
That's a good question.
Because we always like talking about standout players on our Cricket Today show. Watch that one as well. What do you reckon? Because first game of the season, it's not easy to pick. But
who do you reckon? If you've got a fully fit Brodie Grundy, I think he can...
The unicorn.
I think you can go over the top of him.
I think Lloyd Meek is he's just a better overall player nowadays.
We'll see if he gets some second-year blues from his breakout season.
He's in my draft team. Maybe that's why I'm saying it. But don't mind I love seeing Brodie Grundy fit and healthy and firing because he's just a beast. Yeah. So I hope he does well. What do you reckon, Leo?
It's hard to go past Warner or Heaney.
What about a Hawks man?
Go Hawks, man. Go Hawks. You're a Hawks.
I'm going to go a little bit left of field, and I think Josh Battle could have a good game.
Oh, because
I think that was an overrated signing.
Nah, he's good.
I think it was actually a bit of a... I think he could be one that at the end of the year, you're like, damn, he's improved so much. One of the most improved players.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Could make me eat my words, yeah.
I just think Battle, I don't know, like he'll get a pretty good... He'll probably play on Hayward. He could maybe take over him. I don't know.
No,
we'll see
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Just a bit of a left field one.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, I reckon Warner, this is his sort of time to step up. He's gonna go against the doubters of him leaving the club and things like that. Lachie Fogarty was on midweek. He thinks he's gonna stay, but there's still a lot of conjecture there. So I think Warner will fire up.
Thinking about the Sydney team, the only big out really is Errol.
Yeah, they've got all the players that we thought were out in.
Yeah, including
pretty
Papley,
sure.
Grundy.
Are we missing someone else?
There might be someone.
Oh,
we're
Logan
forgetting.
McDonald. But I don't rate him that much.
Yeah, but
They got Tom McCartan. I think Tom McCartan could do a job, to be honest.
Yeah.
More than a job.
Yep. No, good call. All right, we'll finish off with who's going to win, lads.
Yes.
We'll start with you, Leo. Who's going to win in a margin, please?
I think Sydney. I've got just in the run sheet, but I'll say maybe 6 points. You've got there, stats.
Oh, he's copying me.
I'll go
Fair.
5. I'll go 5 points.
5. All right.
Just my reasoning quickly. I think they match up well against us. And you look at their back line. The really only tall person there is Malikan, who's like a one-on-one player. But you look at our forward line. We don't have a tall forward line, so their back line matches up so well against our forward line.
Yeah,
think.
I agree.
yeah. Well, Sydney can get the game on their own terms. I think there will be patches where Hawthorn will look great.
Yeah.
Which they will be throughout the season. But I think the Swans by a few kicks.
Few
Few
kicks.
goals.
12 points? 16
You
points?
want an exact? I'll
Yeah.
go 16.
I want an exact margin, please. All right.
Sorry.
I'm going to go Swans by 6 points. Very similarly. I think this is going to be goal for goal the whole game. 'Cause
Really?
I think genuinely this is going to be so close. Swans, after that grand final loss, the teams that lose the grand final that get smashed always struggle at the start of the year. So I was very tempted to tip the Hawks, but I'm going to go the Swans just because of the home ground. Their fans the last couple of seasons have turned up in the masses. They've been fired up.
They love it.
It's their best average, I think, last season we talked about during the week. 40,000 plus they get there every single game. So,
Yep.
I reckon Swans by 6 points. It's going to be a nice, close one. All right. The last game. It's already the last game of the round, lads.
Fucking
When there's
boys.
9 games, we might have to make it a bit more succinct.
Yeah.
I was happy.
It was going for a while.
But I like it. I like it. Bit of an open chat.
Yeah, I asked you a few more questions in that one because we've only got 2 games.
exactly.
That's all right. GWS versus Collingwood, Sunday, 3:20 at NG Stadium, the great NG Stadium. Actually, I've heard that it's really nice there, that GWS is home ground. Like,
We're
surprisingly.
going to go one day.
Well,
Right?
if you like local footy, yeah, it's a good ground.
No, apparently it's all right. Good food, good vibes. All right, let's go through the teams. We'll start off with you this time, Marcus. You can go through GWS if you like.
GWS, well, where do we start? Let me get that up.
Where do we start?
They've got a few names in the lineup. Obviously, they have a lot of injuries.
A few weird names.
It's actually,
Obviously-
they've got
Tom-
nearly 30 names.
Tom Green, Jake Stringer, and Jesse Hogan are the big ones out
Big
that
outs.
come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
And they could arguably lose in the game here, but they've got
Yeah.
Cody Angrove, Oliver Hannaford, and James Leake as the new names to the GWS team sheet.
Wait, all debutants?
All making their debut.
On the extended bench. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer.
Also, the
but
fact that we have 2 games and we have an
we still have
extended bench, that's crap. Come on, AFL.
Yeah.
Like, we've got 2 games. Just let us have something.
I know. I really like Connor Iden. He's one of my favourite players in the AFL.
he's a very
I
good
think
player.
he's
Underrated.
So underrated.
He's very handsome
So
too.
underrated.
Very handsome.
But you've obviously got the likes of Josh Kelly, Cal Ward, Toby Green, and I reckon the Smalls. The Smalls are going to be huge in this game for GWS if they are to get over the line. Brent Daniels, Toby Bedford, Darcy Jones.
Look how small their
The
forward line
speedsters.
is.
What about Lachie Keefe?
Lachie Keefe as well. I know I don't want to leave Lachie Keefe out.
He looks like an old man.
He
How old is
is
he now?
204 centimetres, so he's not really a small
How
forward.
old is he now?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
I'll tell you.
34.
Yeah,
Oh my
he's,
God.
he's a bit of a journeyman. Well, not really. He's only been at Collingwood and GWS. This is the Lachie Keefe Cup.
Oh, it is.
The Heath Shaw Cup.
The Heath Shaw Cup.
We
Who
could, go,
else?
we could just list GWS.
Can we just say
Collingwood.
Alex Carey Cup because he used to play for GWS? in
Yeah,
cricket?
sure.
True,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. We'll go to the other team now. So we've obviously talked about the Giants. I'll quickly touch on them again. The injuries are just not good. Their forward line looked so good when you had Stringer. I don't care what you say about Stringer. He helps their forward line. Got Hogan, who was the Coleman medalist, out. That's massive. So that's a bit of a tough
How
one.
can you break your own thumb jamming it on a door before the start of the season?
I don't know what we can talk about being in this business, but that is so sus.
Just a quick side question. What's worse, doing that, having that injury, breaking your thumb on a toilet door, or,
On a bus.
or signing Jake Stringer?
No, Jake Stringer's solid.
Ugh.
Just not as a bloke, but yeah. And he's got
Is
crap
he
tattoos.
solid?
What?
Is he solid?
He got 40-something goals. How many goals?
He's solid.
He's solid,
He's
yeah.
solid. 80% of his goals come against the bottom 4 teams.
Oh, you'll take it every. That's like Charlie Kerner. No,
Yeah, it's
anyway.
exactly the same.
I'm
as
not
Charlie
getting into that.
Kerner.
All right, Collingwood, Leo.
Collingwood. Yeah, let's just have a look at their. Hang on. I think I've got the retirement list up here. The retirement home list.
Oh, because I'm the oldest team in the
Boom. Nah, look.
He had that line
Gone
up for a
there.
while.
I was thinking about it for the last couple of minutes.
Actually, you're wearing the prison bars a little bit.
You are.
Man, sucked in, Pies fans. Hope that gives you some trauma.
Let's keep him on side here.
Let's keep him on side. Look, this is a very good team.
Yes.
I think. Obviously, no Houston. There's
Yes.
a suspension from end of last year.
Yep.
But Perryman and Membry,
Yeah, Membry, yeah.
they are making their club debut. So I think Perryman will be a very good signing. He's one I'm just sneakily watching for the old super coach.
Got him in there.
Yeah, I've got him in at the moment, but I just want to see how he does. What's his role?
You got Perryman in. Ooh, okay.
417k. If he's playing on ball, which I think he
could
will.
semi-take over that Houston role as well.
Yeah,
A
100%.
halfback.
But Houston's only out for 1 or 2.
One, I reckon, yeah.
They've listed Josh Daicos at halfback.
Yeah.
Which you'll get on in a
Might
second.
get on in Supercoach now.
Very interesting pick, that one. Their forward line, people have worries over it, but it's probably the first time they've had it fit for a while. Like, they've got McStay in there, Myercheck, who I think people sort of hate on very easily.
I think he's a beast, yeah.
He's like, you know what you're going to get from him.
2 goals.
Like, you get a 7 out of 10, and you're like, that's fine. You did your job, mate.
Yep.
Hoskin Elliott can do a role. And then you've got Schultz, Hill, and McCreary. Like, that's a pretty good small forward list. Like,
Yeah.
it can put
McCreary
pressure
with the
on.
pressure, yeah.
It's got speed. It's got goal sense. I don't think their forward line is as bad as what people are saying.
I love how Hoskin Elliott's listed at full forward. He can fly for a
He
high
loves
mark.
reading into the old team
No, I just
sheet,
think it
doesn't
just
he?
makes me laugh. Maybe because I don't look at the team sheets that often, like that deep, but that just makes me laugh. No way that he's coming out of the square.
Yeah, just one to note as well. Reef McInnes listed at back pocket. So I think they're looking for the Nathan Murphy replacement. McInnes has obviously been a forward.
He's a bit smaller as well.
I think he's like mid-size.
Yeah.
I actually think he's like over 190, McInnes. But yeah, they're just looking for that replacement. If he can step up in that role, he can maybe take him up a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. He's 194. I thought he was way smaller than that.
He plays a bit lower for his height. I reckon.
He's always a bit low.
Yeah,
He's crawling around.
Well, and I know there were a couple of people in the office perhaps worried about Nick Daicos with his foot niggle, but he is playing this game.
He's playing. And he dominated. I know it was against Richmond, but he was running fine.
In the first half of footy, didn't he rack up like almost 30 in a goal?
Yeah, it was like 27 and no, he didn't get a goal, but he had
Didn't
like
get the goal?
27, I think, and like 10 clearances in like the first half. Yeah,
Unreal.
he's crazy. All right, let's get into the odds brought to you by Tab. GWS are now $2.20. 2 days ago, before all the injuries came out, I think these odds were very, very even. Collingwood are now $1.67. I wouldn't say heavy favourites, but they're starting to head towards that. So jump on Collingwood if you want them at $1.67. One of my best bets in this one, because I think the Pies are going to at least win by a couple of goals, is Collingwood -6.5 at $1.90. Again, with the line, I think that's a really good line. I'm surprised that's not a little bit more, as we mentioned on this show. You've got the odds, you've got the injuries there for GWS. So Collingwood -6.5. Just jump on that. I think that's a really good line. I think that's going to jump up over the weekend until the Sunday game. So get on that early. My best bet for a player bet, I'm going to go Josh Daicos. He's starting at half-back, as Leo mentioned. I know that that's tough for a goal, but I'm going to go for a goal because he loves that goal sense. The Pies love to give the hands off and get their goals from wing players and half-back. So I reckon he'll push up into a wing at some point and get a goal. And then the 25 plus disposals makes it a multi for $4.40 with Tab. I think that's really, really good value. Nick Daicos, you can't even bet on him for disposals. So I'm going for his brother, Josh. He's underrated just in all sense because his brother's such a beast. So $4.40 there with Tab's really good.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
All right, lads. What do we reckon? Do we think the Pies are going to get the job done like I'm saying here?
Yeah, I think so. I think you touched on Daicos kicking a goal. I think if that's to happen, I think the Pies need to like smack him and sort of everyone's getting on the action type thing. So if you believe in the Pies smacking him, believe in Josh Daicos.
Yeah, I like that.
He has had 6 scoring shots in 6 games against the Giants.
There we go.
So he gets an average of 1 a game.
Dropping
so
some heat.
You just need 1 to go through the middle. And you should be all right.
Yep, I like it. The Giants, I'm going to talk about their past matchups, have won the last 4 matches against the Pies at NG Stadium. Everyone's sort of reading into the injury, so that could change this one. And the Giants won by 32 points in the last meeting, which was also at NG Stadium. I don't think the home and away factor is there for the Giants most of the time. Crowds and then injuries and things like that. Like, I don't think their record was amazing there. It was solid, but not like amazing compared to some other teams. The Pies as well, they struggled in away games last year. I know they had a lot of injuries, but in away games, they were only won 4 of 11, and that included 2 draws. I know they're a bit unlucky with 2 draws, but the fact they had 2 draws, they couldn't get over the line, but you've got the Pies, a few good Pies recruits, as we mentioned before. I think Membry is an underrated pickup.
Yeah.
I think so too. He's on the extended bench, worth pointing out.
I reckon they should just play him. He dominated in preseason. I know it was against Richmond, but he's a solid player. I know he had some mental health issues and was trying to get back out in the park, and then obviously left St Kilda. But if he can get it going, he's a good player.
I'd rather him than premiership winner,
Here we
one
go.
disposal, Billy Frampton.
Yeah.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
forward
true.
line.
Is he? He's not in the team. Is he?
He's on the extended bench.
Oh, surely put Membry in.
Yeah, memory for sure. I really like him. Whenever you watch him, he can take a mark overhead. He's got clean hands.
Yep.
And he's a relatively decent kick.
Good
Like,
touch.
He's great on the lead too. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like St
Yeah.
Kilda, watching them play sometimes is a bit yucky, but every time they
Bit
go,
yucky.
it's a little bit ill. But when they go inside 50 and Membry's on the end of a lead, you know it's going to end up in a goal.
How long did
Yeah.
that take for Leo to give Marcus the?
And it
was
and
about
it,
20
and
minutes.
it frees up Mychek as well.
It does,
Um,
and potentially even McStay.
He's just there to crash packs.
Yeah, do we think McStay can do anything?
Bodies.
Because McStay needs to kick a few goals for the Pies to win the flag. Like, he needs to kick
He just
like
needs to stay
40
fit.
goals.
He
or
just needs to stay
30
fit.
goals. Yeah.
To be fair though, if Hill and Schultz stay fit, and
Their forward line's
firing,
good, yeah.
they could kick 60 between them, which I think is enough.
Bobby looks on this year, by the way. I know it's just pre-season
Yeah.
in the Indigenous All-Stars game,
He does look on.
but he looks on.
I like a bit of Bobby
Yeah.
Hill. Like that. Few stats for the players' side of it. Josh Kelly, I think he's going to have to step up with no Tom Green.
Yep.
He
Yep.
averages 26 disposals across his career against the Pies, which is the most of any of his opponents. So he loves playing against the Pies. Mychek, he kicked 3 goals in the last meeting and 8 goals in his last 4 meetings with GWS. Like you said, the 7 out of 10. He averages 2 goals against most teams. If he gets, I think he needs to kick 3 in sort of the bigger games, but if he gets 2 here and then the other guys chip in for 2, then that's all you need from him. Yeah, so I don't mind a bit of Mychek. Any other talking points do we think, lads? I'm trying to think who else is going to make an impact. Who has to
Cal
step
Ward,
up?
I think,
Yeah, who's going to
from
step
the
up
Giants.
for the Giants without Tom
You're
Green?
thinking about like Tom Green's a big, bustly, like hard midfielder.
Ward is old
Right.
though.
I know, but he's
still
that
good,
body
yeah.
type that he's got to go in there and get the
Yeah.
hard ball. Probably Finn Callahan as well.
Yeah, I was gonna actually
$17 million
bring up Finn.
Phil Callahan.
Yeah.
So it's probably those two that need to step up for me in the Tom Green with Tom Green
I
missing.
reckon Callahan has a big game.
Oh, the $17 million
and then St.
man.
Kilda
Does
off
he?
for
Is
20
he?
million.
Yes.
Leo
Yeah.
reckons he's worth a lot of money.
All I said was
What? 17 million.
I didn't say that.
I don't think any player in the competition is worth what he got offered.
Yep.
I want to preface by saying that. But when the news got announced, everyone around here was going, he's not that good. I'm here going, this kid's going to be the next Marcus Bontempelli.
Oh,
I'm not sure about that.
Not
We've got a
I'm not sure about that.
He's not going to be on the same level
Well,
as
if he
the
wins-
Bond.
if he
Social post quote that.
He will be.
Finn Callahan is the next Bontempelli.
He will be an elite AFL player.
He's
will be.
tanned like the Bond. He doesn't have
How
as
old
big
is
a...
he? How old is he?
21.
He's 21. Mate, I'm 24 and I'm sitting here on a Thursday night doing a show with the lads.
Mate,
Like,
I know what I'd rather be doing. This is lovely. This is great.
yeah, you don't want to get paid 17 million.
Nah, it's not about money. It's about time with your
you
friends.
just indirectly said you'd spend time with us here than have 17 million.
Well, he didn't get 17. Mate, money would just go to my head. It's all good. We just have fun.
screw
here.
you.
Alright.
I'll do this for no money. No, that's not true.
Hosting goes to his head.
I already do it for no money.
That's true. You just do the socials for the love of it.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Tips and margin from you, lads. We'll start off with Marcus while Leo
Well, I
has a
think
bit of
we're
a
all
sip.
doing a clean sweep across the 2 matches. That's
I know.
a bit boring, lads.
Usually, if there's 9 matches, we're going to have different ones. Because there's only 2.
Yeah, I think Collingwood injuries play a big part. Collingwood injuries. GWS injuries play a big part in this for Collingwood winning. I'm going to go almost 5 goals. Collingwood 27 points. Because I know
Interesting.
you like an exact margin.
Thank you.
We better have a competition going. If we hit an exact margin, we better win something.
You win
A hug from Stats Guy.
or more.
Been a while since someone hugged me.
I prefer a cuddle, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay that way. Anyway, Leo, your tip and margin, please.
Buys by 33. I think Marcus touched on it. GWS injuries and the Pies. I think they're going to be good this year.
They are going to be.
I think they're flag favourites, question mark.
I think we all think that.
Well, I tipped him for the flag. Who did you
I've
guys
tipped them
go?
for the flag.
I think I GWS. in the
GWS. I don't mind-
prediction,
Oh, but the Pies beat him here.
Yes, but that is purely on the injury front.
I agree. Usually, I don't read too much into injury because like 1 or 2, and you're like, it can't change a game.
But-
this can change a game.
I wouldn't be surprised if GWS win this game either.
There you go. Before we get into the next part of the show, let's hear from our sponsor.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by 1 on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by 1 on any disposals leg, and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab, we're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
All right, lads. My favorite part of the Thursday night show. Big calls ahead for the weekend. What do we
Yes.
got? Big calls. Only 2 games, so less things to have a big call
These
for.
have to be big calls.
I'll start
no
with Marcus.
dilly-dallying.
I'll start with Marcus. This is an outrageous call. I'm not even going to say it's a big call. It's
Okay,
outrageous.
let me preface this by saying this isn't my big call. This is the boss who wanted to get in on the action, our boss.
Well, you're saying it.
He says, I'm saying it on his behalf. Right. He says, Nick Daicos comes off injured in the first quarter. And I'm
That
going to
is shocking.
go the polar opposite, and I'll do my take as Nick Daicos gets at least 35 and a goal.
All right.
All right, that's
Against
kind of
the Giants.
piggybacked onto mine, I guess.
It has, but there's a lot of Nick. We can't talk. we can't. We can't will an injury onto someone on this show. That is
That is
outrageous.
disgraceful.
That is disgraceful.
Shame on our
We are,
boss.
I was gonna say we're better than that. We're probably not, but
No, we are.
we'll pretend we're better than that. All right, Leo. There's a lot of Daicos. What's the word?
Glaze.
Glaze. That's exactly the love glaze. What do you got? A big call.
Talking about Glaze,
Here we
he
go.
was all over the donuts today, wasn't he?
I had one.
I had two too.
Yeah.
You only have one?
Yeah.
I thought you already had more.
Take it back.
I had
Apologize.
two.
I apologise. Stats
Absolutely
guy.
no one.
All right, Leo. Big call, please.
My big call for opening round, I think the Daicos bros combined for 65 plus disposals and 250 plus Supercoach points. I just think the Pies are in for a big game against the Giants. Nick Daicos looks in great form. Just running around like a little road runner. And Josh Daicos playing off halfback, I think that role's going to rejuvenise him. Is that a word?
Rejuvenate.
Rejuvenate and revitalise. I just
much-
merged the two.
Rejuvenise.
How much is Joshy Daicos? Have a look here.
On Supercoach, yeah.
480.
I might get him if he
Yeah.
has a big week.
I'm considering.
Consider.
yeah,
All
that's
right.
my big
I
call.
don't mind that.
What about you, man?
Me, man. What the hell was that? My big call for the weekend. Like, can I paint you a picture, Leo? You always paint me a picture.
Oh, here we go. Here we
But
go.
mine's not going to be that long. Mine's not long.
No, build
Alright,
the
fine.
story. Make
Alright,
a
fine,
story.
fine,
Make
fine.
a story out of it.
The Sydney Swans.
Yeah.
They kicked the first 6 goals of the game. They lead every single quarter, every break, half time. The Hawks fans are like, Leo's turned off the TV. He's not happy. Then Sam Mitchell goes, Sis, we need you forward. Just the same as last year. Kick a couple of goals. He kicks 4 straight goals to try and win them the game.
And they're still 2 goals behind.
And the Hawks lose by a point.
Good man.
Okay.
But the Hawks lose by a point. I think Sicily, if they put him forward, they need to put him forward. I think they don't need him in the back line with all those big guys. 4+ goals is my big
That
call.
is a great
You
big
did
call.
say it was a bit small as well. The
I
forward line.
love that big call.
Because, like, surely test him out forward. Why not?
Yeah, it's going to be an in-game change so that your picture makes sense. Well painted.
Thank you,
Well
thank
painted.
you very much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. All right, to finish off the show, as we always will on Thursday night, what to keep an eye on. Anything you're keeping an eye on can be anything. Can be to do with the fans, players, Supercoach.
Fans.
Anything you want. I don't know.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Wow.
How many teeth the Pies fans have?
There we go. Yeah, 6. All right.
Keep
an eye
watching,
on.
Pies fans.
Yeah, keep watching.
How many times
Here we go.
BT glazes Nick Daicos?
Oh, well, he's like
Saying
the best.
it was the best patches of play he's seen and is going to see this season.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. What are you keeping an eye on, Leo, to start off with?
I'm keeping an eye on my beloved Hock Ball under some expectation. this
Yes.
season. See how they go round one, away from home, travelling up to Sydney.
We mentioned in the previous show, it is a tough first 6.
Yes. What have you got us
Quite a
going,
f-
Marcus?
This is
it was a big
outrageous.
call. It was a big call. It's a big call for a reason.
Yep.
Said it on the prediction show. Hawthorn will start the season 1-5.
It could happen. It's a tough job.
With the win
Wait,
coming,
with the win here.
with the win coming against the Bombers.
Sorry, Bomb.
Next
That's
week.
right. That's what I meant to say.
So yeah, just sort of under the microscope because they touched on it a little bit.
I agree with that.
In the doco.
There's a lot of guys that are yappa.
Yeah.
Shanice.
You're moving like a rat.
You're moving like a rat. So they need to not move like a rat and just score
Play
a goal.
football.
The Rat Pack will call them.
the rat.
The rat. They are the
Rat
rat
Pack.
pack.
They call it the Rascal Pack, I think.
Yeah. Well, the Bombers early on when they were young and small was the Mosquito Fleet.
Yes.
What's the Hawthorn?
Oh, bring back Irving Mosquito.
Culture player right there. Dreamtime Irving Mosquito.
Yeah.
That was good.
Debut Irving Mosquito.
What's the Hawthorn name going to be called?
Hock Ball.
Like these group of players. Yeah, I mean,
Hawk
they've
pack?
already got a name.
No, that's not good.
Well, it's not a HSP.
Oh, what about Hawkbox?
Hawk box? Well, they got a hot box of car.
A Hawkbox. That's good. All right. I genuinely reckon that's good. All right. What's your We've got on the rails here. We're getting back on the rails. Marcus,
Yeah.
keep an eye on.
Well, I did mention the BT, but I will go a little bit more tame here. We'll go the Pies new recruits. Obviously, there's no Houston, but we are looking at Perryman. You mentioned Supercoach wise,
Membry, possibly.
back on the ball, and Timmy Membry as well. Very underrated. I think he kicks at least 3 on the weekend.
For the year.
No, I really like that. All right.
For the year, yes.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. My one to keep an eye on, I'm just looking at Supercoach. We love Supercoach on this show. You're a more Supercoach nerd than me. Supercoach players in general. You got rookies. There's a lot of rookies this weekend that we want to keep an eye on, especially
ones?
James Leake.
Oh,
I'm
there's
looking at.
a few for Sydney.
Few
I
for
wanna have a
Sydney.
look at.
Sheldrick.
We got a message from
Sheldrick.
Alex that's usually on this show. He reckons Hanley will be the sub.
Yep.
So maybe not him because he's a small forward, but Sheldrick's a big one.
Corey
midfielder.
Warner's 148k.
Ooh,
See how he
really?
goes.
No, Hanley can't be the sub.
Why not?
It's not an extended bench, is it? For
Yeah, but it's
tomorrow
the
They don't announce
it's
the
from
sub.
the
yeah.
5. They don't announce it.
night? Okay,
So he probably
yes,
will be
yes.
the sub. The other one in Supercoach plays Nick Daicos. I know he played Richmond in the preseason, so I don't count that. I just want to see if he's firing after that plantar fasciitis because that's tough on your foot. And
Sorry,
then
say that again.
plantar fasciitis.
Oh, very nice.
There we go. Yeah. I think I had it or something wrong with my foot. And then
It is pretty clapped.
yeah. What, you seen my feet, have you?
Yeah, there's
Get
like,
him out!
there's one too many toes for my liking.
Well, you don't have 6 toes.
You have 4 toes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Negative.
Anyway,
Makes it
last,
hard to walk. I lose my balance.
last one I'll look at is Will Day, Leo.
Yep.
Everyone's jumped on that bandwagon. First part of the season, I was like, no, I'm not going to pick him. Really cheap. If he goes well, then I'll be locking him in my team.
You know what they say? Where there's a will, there's a day.
Oh, that was trying to be your Supercoach. team,
Yes,
wasn't
but Supercoach, actually, I should talk to the people upstairs. You need to extend the character limit on your team names.
it? Yeah?
I can't fit that in. I want to fit it in.
What's your team name now?
C-Mac Daddy.
That's so bad.
It's
What's
terrible.
your team name?
Cheezels, mate.
Oh
Jesus,
yeah, we
Jesus.
did get you.
I've had that for a last couple of years. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. What's yours?
Daddy Draper.
Oh my God. What's with the daddy chat over here?
Daddy.
We got daddy
Maybe
issues.
we've
Daddy
got
Draper.
some trauma from,
think you
from the
do.
past.
On-
We'll not touch on it. It's not therapy.
On those issues, that can be on a later podcast. I'm calling it, and that's enough for the AFL Today Show. Make sure you get around us on all the socials, AFL Today AU and Aussie Rules Today on Facebook. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe as well on YouTube, AFL Today Show. And we're going to be doing content all season long. And subscribe, star, and like all of our other shows, actually, on podcast apps as well. Cricket Today Show, AFLW Today Show, Hold All Tickets, True Bloods. True Bloods has been firing in here with the Dean Cox and a few other ones coming on. So
Will
that's a new one.
Sparks intro music as well.
Will
by
Sparks.
the way, just quietly.
Can we get Will Sparks to do ours? That'd be sick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I used to love Will Sparks. He's a bit down off now. Dropped off a little bit.
Down off.
That did not sound good. He's dropped off a little bit.
If
but
you
he's
haven't got
back.
the speedster shades and a vape in your hand, you will now with our Will Sparks intro.
Yeah, well, I don't think we'll be doing a Will
Should
Sparks.
we do a cover of it?
Oh, maybe. Maybe. Anyways, thank you very much for Gerald putting up with this behind the camera. Thanks, Leo.
Come on, the Hawkins!
There we go. Thanks very much, Marcus. A regular on the show now. Thanks, mate.
Yes, thank you. And don't forget, guys, 4K before the Anzac Day game.
Oh, I love that. That is really, really good. That's good. It rhymes as well. And of course, thank you very much to our sponsors at Tab with their AFL Miss by One. If your disposals leg misses by one, Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? See you on Sunday to wrap up the opening round. And that's another episode of AFL Today Show done. We're out.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by one on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by one on any disposals leg, and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab, we're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.